Hello guys, welcome to the Bright Agent. Today I'm going to be evaluating my moves and see how I can improve. But for now, this is going to be an excellent, brilliant move coming soon. So this is a theory move I start off with. Then the knight does another theory move. Then I'll do a decent theory move of the Nimza Witch opening. Then the pawn pushes forward. I make a mistake by not taking the pawn. As you can see here, I could have taken it, but oh well. Then afterwards, the pawn takes, and then for my knight, I take the pawn, best move. The queen makes a mistake, could have developed the knight to create more central defense and attack, but whatever. Accidentally moved my central, thinking it needs more developing. The pawn moves. I centralize my bishop, which is a good move. Not the best, but not the worst. Bishop moves to centralize and acts as a defender from moving my bishop over there. Move my queen since I thought it needed developing, but apparently that's an inaccuracy. Bishop moves there, and then, as you can see, I make an absolute monster of a great move. Moving my knight away from the queen and threatening the queen. A great move is like one of the only moves that can work, because all the other moves are like inaccuracies or mistakes or whatever. Queen moves back, could have repositioned. Now I make a best move. Then the pawn makes best move, and I could have taken the pawn with the bishop, but yeah, I end up losing it. I make a back-to-back mistake by making a trade. Although I don't know how that's a mistake. I think I could have developed. Best move from bishop. Could have castled, but this is still fine. Bunch of other best and great moves, whatever. Yeah. And then I kind of like reverse back to show you some of the good moves. As you can see, I put my rook to there to check the king, and the pawn is gone these two squares and the rook is gone in this aisle. So the king has no choice but to take my rook anyway. So he has to take my rook. Hence why it's a false move. Make another check. Then the king makes a mistake by not moving to the other aisle. Then I just take the pawn with the rook. Knight, sorry, and then I just make a miss. Could have just forked the bishop and knight, but I just screwed up. Knight also just tries to attack my rook, but obviously I'm not stupid, so I move my rook and then create an inaccuracy. I don't know how that's an inaccuracy, but it just is. I don't know why. So this move is good, and I make an excellent, cracking move. Absolute monster of a move. And the king also makes a monster of a move too. What a great move. Could have made another great move there, but I don't know. Maybe it would be best move, but point, knight screws up. Then I move my king, forking both the bishop and the knight. The knight can protect the bishop, but nothing can protect the knight. So the bishop can move, sure, but I'll just take the knight anyway, eventually. Absolute beast, absolute cinema. So, the bishop moves here, I try to trade to create even material, create more even ground for me. And the king will eventually take my knight, and I'll just, reposition my rook. I realised this, I absolutely regretted not taking that pawn, but, I just had to live with that, kind of. So the king moves here, rook moves there, checking my king. I could have moved there to protect my pawn, but I didn't. Knight checks me with a best move, not bad at all. Then I just move behind my pawn to defend my pawn, that's all I was trying to achieve. And then the rook is forking both of my pawns, and then I kind of gone in this area. Could have taken that pawn, but didn't. Made a mistake. Took a pawn. Best move. The rook then made a mistake. I made a miss because I thought I was being aggressive, trying to protect my pawn. But what didn't really work out. Anyway, mistake. Now I make best move. Excellent move. Skewing the king, grabbing the pawn. That's what I'm aiming for. Best move. King moves, makes a decent move. Could have taken the pawn with the rook. Check the king with my rook. move my rook back, but I couldn't move to the other side. Knight could have taken my pawn. I moved the king over there, and for some reason the knight could check me either here or here, but he didn't. And could have taken my pawn again for free. It's a miracle. Keep on pushing my pawn. Push the pawn. Makes a mistake. The rook! Sacrifice the rook! Sacrifice the rook. Absolute cinema sacrifice. Look at that brilliant sacrifice. I cut off the rook from trying to grab my pawn. Now the rook has to grab it. Otherwise, well, he doesn't have to. If he didn't, then that would be kind of stupid of the rook not to do so. So, rook takes, best move. I promote my pawn to a queen, best move. Knight tries to thwart my king, but doesn't even take the pawn. Could have taken the pawn, but didn't. I take the knight. I don't know. Oh, I could have forked the king. Oh, well. Well, bunch of inaccuracies, good move. And then there's monster of a great move. But the rook tries skewering me. I just like, oh, well, he can take my queen. I can just take back his rook. That's along the lines of what I was thinking. But let's continue from here. So, rook comes over here to try to take my pawn. Obviously, I push it since I don't want to lose material. Rook goes back there. Kind of filler move. Rook just pushes me aside. Made skewer my queen. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. But from this moment on, it's kind of Coach David's downfall. Because he just makes inaccuracies. And then he creates a best move. I just take. He has forced moves, so he can't move to this square or whatever square. So he has a forced move, does that, has to take the queen. There's no chances he's not taking it. He has to. So then, afterwards, I just keep on pushing my pawn for promotion, since that's basically the only best move I can make. Promoting my queen, absolute best move. Keep on just trying to just create a bunch of best moves, excellent moves, okay moves from both sides. Just pushing my king to like corner him in a way. And then if the king goes here, I can push the queen down, it's mate. And if the king goes over here, it's mate. So then I can just summon my queen to the shadow realm and bang! Checkmate. Absolutely cracking checkmate. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.